excited to be speaking to Lauren Leask today. Lauren is the head of e-commerce and affiliates at AreMedia. Firstly, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. I would love to start off by asking you how your 2022 has been so far.
Great question. Thanks, Kelly. Having only launched our affiliate program about 18 months ago, we have seen exponential growth. So we've expanded the amount of merchants that we work with. We've doubled the headcount internally to support the program, and now we offer a range of different commercial setups for merchants, being CPA, CPC, fixed fees and retainers.
Yeah, awesome. It sounds like the business is really skyrocketing.
It really is.
Yeah, and I'd love to know what actually drove the decision for you guys to invest more in affiliates.
As far as digital revenue goes, we saw the need to diversify our revenue streams and reduce our reliance on programmatic ads and ad inventory. So commerce content played really naturally into that. As a publisher who has been recommending brands and products organically for a long time, it just made sense for us to commercialise those links and work closely with partners who are happy to invest more in that content.
Yeah, awesome. I'd love to know, how can advertisers make the most of working with you?
I love this question, and let me answer it in two parts. Brands can certainly maximise their chances of being included in our editorial content. Firstly, take the heavy lifting away from the publisher. Please supply us some keywords and keyword research, because your top trending or converting words to include in our content maximises our SEO and maximises the opportunity that we can deliver to drive our readers and make them into your customers. Secondly, supply some evidence that your brand is trending or on trend. What celebrities or ambassadors have endorsed your brand or product recently? Because our users want to know about that. Supply some content angles or ideas that will resonate with our audience from an engagement point of view. And when I say engagement, I mean content that really aims to inspire, inform, or influence our readers. Supply us product samples the way you would to an influencer, because as you can imagine, first-person reviews by editors are really strong at driving conversions. And an editor review on Elle or Marie Claire has so much power and weight, and of course influence. Provide approved video assets for us to use on social or web. Most importantly, make sure that your top publishers are on the distribution list from your PR and comms team or your PR agency. The agency or person that sends out all the timely press releases to your media, get your affiliates, your publishers, your editors on that list. Put your top publishers on the embargo list so that they get information ahead of schedule, ahead of a press release, ahead of an event, and they have the opportunity to prepare content.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned the embargo list, because that is just not something I've ever heard recommended before, and it makes so much sense, right?
Of course. To answer the second part of your question, make it commercially viable for publishers to promote the brand or product. Offer us a unique promo code that's unique to our audience only, just like you would to an influencer. This reduces the risk, or our risk, of having that sale go down the funnel of a coupon or a cashback site. Consider offering your content partners a fixed fee. So you are in effect covering their costs of editorial resources and time to create content about the brand. A product review or a listicle takes such considerable time and effort to produce. So if a brand is willing to cover that cost up front, the trade-off is that that brand can be at the top of that listicle, endorsed by that publisher. And finally, if you're not getting much coverage from your publishers, consider running a CPC campaign for a limited time. See if you can get more traction from your publishers by guaranteeing them an earnings per click from listing the brand or product.
So what do you think advertisers are surprised to learn when working with you?
Great question, Kelly. I think advertisers are quite surprised when we don't heavily lean into sales and deals content as much as they would expect us to. For our audience, sales and deals doesn't always convert, as well as a long-running, high-traffic listicle that surfaces forever and every day, and sometimes being paid to be listed there is a better trade-off than us just talking about a sale and in a piece of content that has a really short shelf life.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, because like you said, it does have that short shelf life where if they focus on content that has more longevity, obviously there's increased ROI over time too.
That's exactly right.
So moving on, what new opportunities are available that advertisers may not be aware of?
Great question, Kelly. Advertisers talk a lot about ROI and return on ad spend. But from a publisher perspective, the ROI principle is exactly the same. We need to make sure that we're making a return on investment, our investment of time and effort that it takes to write really good quality content. As we see the demise of third-party cookies and last-click attribution going to coupon sites and cashback sites, we have to work so much harder to drive revenue and return on our investment of time when we're getting paid on a CPA. So now we have deals in place where we can work on a CPC or a retainer or a flat fee to ensure a return on our investment of time it takes to create content.
Yeah, and I would also add from a technology standpoint, we are also seeing this demand, not just from you, but from other publishers, from advertisers as well, who are all looking to move beyond just last click. And that was one of the main reasons why we released a new product suite, an improved attribution suite this year, which actually caters to advertisers who want to move beyond just that last click.
That's fantastic and good to know. If we can get paid on second last click potentially, or a portion of the CPA, if we were involved in the path to purchase, then that makes it a lot easier for us to write content with confidence.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is where the industry is going.
Great.
So Lauren, what do you see being the big opportunities or trends in this space this coming year?
I really see that the big shift all publishers are making at the moment is an intended effort to acquire more revenue directly from readers, be that with a subscription to a service or a product, a paywall for exclusive content or access to an exclusive event online, or thirdly, embedded e-commerce. So encouraging users to check out or buy a service or buy a product without leaving the publisher's website at all.
Do you have any examples of publishers who might be doing that well in the space?
I think Bustle in the USA has got a pretty good setup with e-commerce embedded, as well as shop style, also in the US. But we would love to be the trailblazer of that technology when it arrives here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think essentially all these tactics are aiming to gather first-party data from our readers and bring loyal customers back to our sites.
Yeah, great. I think that's everything from me. So I just want to say a big thank you again for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.